Greetings, groovy people. This is the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon here with this week's time-lapse video, Summertime Blue. Karin Blu, the character that I'm sketching and inking in the background, is from my free, not safe for work webcomic, Dark Horse. Haven't given the synopsis in a while, so it's a post-apocalyptic fantasy set in the Pacific Northwest, but it has a host of characters from around the US and elsewhere, including Ms. Blue, who is from Chicago, Illinois. This week I'm going to just kind of babble about art because I've been feeling really down and just disillusioned, but I do want to talk a little bit about what art means to me and what I feel it means to society. It would be remiss of me, maybe even irresponsible to myself. For me, it feels irresponsible if I don't at least express how upset I am about everything that's going on. And to people defending people who are supposed to be upholding the law, that's a way to pussyfoot around. People who are supposed to be protecting the law should not be breaking the law and continuing to get off the hook. The offense, we need to stop being offended for constructive criticism, especially since people are dying and now even more people are dying. So let's be adults about this. Instead of being offended and on our high horses, let's look at how we can progress as a people and stop hurting each other and start moving forward as a society and helping solve the problem. We all got here because of bullshit from the past that is just out of our control. We have control of the future. If we want things to change, if we want things to be better, we need to stop being so easily offended at legitimate concerns that people are outraged about and start working towards fixing those problems. And along that note, I try to stay away from Twitter and social media, but of course, I find myself going back there. But I notice that some people have gotten a little pissed off at artists for continuing to create art as though nothing is happening. And of course I have a bias in this, of course I do. But for me, the way I viewed it is that when we're stressed and feeling helpless, we need to take action, of course. Inaction makes one responsible for what happens in the world just as much as action does. If I see someone get hit by a car and I choose not to call 911, I am just as guilty for that person's fate as the person who hit them with the car. But also, I recognize, and I know that a lot of people do, that we as a whole also, Word of Wednesday, need a reprieve. That's the Word of Wednesday, from the oppressive anger and sorrow that we feel. So I think that's why art is so important. It's an outlet for me and for others, not just for the people creating it, but for those who are consuming it, for lack of a better word. When the world seems hopeless, we sometimes need a little bit of escapism. We need an outlet for that. And that's not to say that we should live our lives in fantasy, but we shouldn't be denying ourselves a little bit of rest and enjoyment, even while we are struggling with the pain and turmoil that surrounds us. We as a whole, not just me specifically. Obviously, I'm talking about myself, but I'm talking about other people as well. So, people attacking artists for continuing to post art, I feel that they are, in a way, denying people who consume that art an outlet, especially if they are incapable, or maybe they just don't create the art themselves. I can't create music, for instance. I can't play an instrument. But if everyone just stopped making music because of current events, I feel like there would be a loss. I feel that we need art. It echoes the fear and pain and joy and success of individuals and the whole. Take that pain and create Guernica, create the works of Francis Bacon, the haunting, powerful works of Kara Walker. If you don't know who she is, go check her out. The emotion and expression of Jean-Michel Basquiat, that's how I'm going to say it. I feel like art isn't, I don't feel like, we know art is an expression of the artist, but it also gives words and feelings and a voice to people who, like I said, aren't necessarily artists themselves. What we create isn't just ours, it's for others too. Obviously, I'm justifying myself You know, I'm justifying what I do, if you want to call it art. But I just don't like it when people start getting critical of what small joys people choose to share with the rest of the world in the darkest of times. I feel that the art, what we create or do, you know, it inspires others to create or do or keep going. It's all reciprocal. And especially if somebody's giving that art away for free, I mean, I think now more than ever, we need to keep that going for ourselves and for others to keep people inspired. So that's kind of some of the things I've been kicking around in my head. But that brings me to talking about the Comic Fury Zine project, the community project that we've all been working on. There's a small team of us dedicated to putting everything together, laying it out, organizing, editing, all that, but the community as a whole has been contributing in various ways, which I'll get into once we unveil the project. But the Comic Fury Zine was actually inspired by a friend and colleague on Tapas, Braille Studios. They create the comic Ibrahim Coil. I have been reading it for a while. I really enjoy it. It's very stylistic. I love the art. It's fun. It's just a chaotic joyride. But they actually inspired the creation of this zine because they were telling me about a zine and have invited me to share some of my work in their zine, which I need to do. I need to get off my ass and do that. But also, this project was inspired by the creator of Cyber Scrapyard, Tired Programmer, who, through her own generosity, coordinated this massive veteran indie artists of Tapas contest that was held earlier in the year, and I talked about that in another video. But that experience, I met a lot of great people. Obviously I talked to her, the host, but also the comic artist Azifri, and I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, Gaio Skikok? I'm so sorry. I should have asked you how you pronounce your handle. I'm sorry. But their comics are amazing. The Cyber Scrapyard, Terra Prima, the art on that's beautiful. And Oddly Vanilla, I love it. It's kind of a pulpy anthology. It's got a couple different writers and artists, and he is one of those artists, and it's a lot of fun too. I like all those comics. I read them all. The link's going to be in the description. I highly suggest you guys out there check it out. I made a lot of awesome friends during that project. It was very hard work, but the people I met and the comics I was introduced to made the work worthwhile. Seriously. So I have been more active on the Comic Fury forums just because I've been there the longest and because I get a little intimidated by how large the forums of Tapas are, but, you know, inspired by Tired Programmer and Braille Studios specifically, I thought that it would be cool to give back a little bit and help bring new readers, and of course promote and advertise, you know, comics, both other people's comics and of course my own, but to really try to build more hype for the artist on Comic Fury, because I've learned from a couple different experiences that it is a fairly small community and a lot of people don't even know it exists, and there's so many amazing skilled artists on the platform. Organizing this with this team has really been a way to try to give back a bit to the community, I guess, because I feel like I've gotten a lot of constructive criticism. I've gotten a lot of just people listening to me, you know, people that I talk to in private messages over the years. So I thought this would be a cool way to really help promote the community that I feel I'm a part of. And that brings me back full circle to Karin Blu in the background. I specifically chose her due to current events. Karin, she's going to be just one of like 24 characters from the Comic Fury creators that are going to be featured in a splash page in the Comic Fury zine. It's themed summer fun, and that's why she's chilling on the beach, doing things that we all wish we could be doing now, but aren't. But yeah, so the zine is coming together and we hope to have it out in mid-June, early July. I'm certainly going to share with you guys where you can access it for free once it's released. The keyword being free. Free. We're sharing the love. People put a lot of work. It's a labor of love. They put a lot of time into it, and looking at what we've got put together now, it's amazing, and I think people are really going to enjoy it, so I'm definitely going to share it with you guys once it's completed. Okay, time to wrap up. Question of the week. What online comics should others, who are checking out this video, go check out themselves. I want you to share some of your favorite comics in the comments below. God, it's been a long month. It's been a long year. I want to thank my patrons and donators. Thank you so much. I can't find words for how much I appreciate your help, honestly. I want to thank my the ones who've been there, and I also want to thank my new Subscribe Star donator. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This project's almost done, so if you're watching this video, content is coming your way to Subscribe Star very soon. If you guys out there would like to donate, either monthly or one time, all that stuff down in the description if you're interested in that. Oh God, you guys, please try to be safe out there. Take care of each other. We are in this together for the long run, so take care of each other, please. Peace and love. Fare you well, and keep on trucking.